every parenting expert right now is saying the same thing about your Defiant kid. Set stronger boundaries. Be more consistent. Be patient. Be kind. They'll outgrow it. Have stronger punishment. Take their electronics away. Monitor all their electronics. Let's give them an IEP. Let's give them a support staff so that they can get their schoolwork done in school. And you know what? If all of these things fail, well, then the child is being slapped with a label, a diagnosis, sent off to therapy for years, prescribed medication. A mother I talked to a week or two ago had her kid on 17 different medications that they had tried by the age of 14. There's something wrong with this picture, and we're going to bring it to light here for you today. Welcome to the Learn to Speak Kid podcast. We are Bonnie and
Thomas Liotta.
Yes, and we help parents and educators transform the most defiant and disruptive child behavior without mind-altering medication, years of therapy that goes nowhere, or any type of harsh punishment. And today we want to talk about the Google search of Defiant Child in 2026. It is going through the roof. There are teachers all over social media complaining about the children's behavior in the classroom, and many of them are resigning at an exponential rate right now. So what's actually happening here right now, Tom, when we're talking about consequences and boundaries and just be more patient and kind?
It just sounds like we're adding things on like bubble wrap or training wheels to a bike that might need to be in place, which makes sense to get them started. But once you get started and they're not developing, to put these back on, like an IEP, to help them get their homework done. So that's the plan for the rest of your life?
Yeah, or a support staff to follow them around all day. Do they follow them to the bathroom?
Right, because I don't see anybody riding a bike in the park right now with training wheels.
Right. Okay, so let's pause just for a second for all you parents who are raising kids and you've been told that your kid has something like oppositional defiant disorder, ADHD, DMDD. I don't want to make light of what you're actually living through because I know that life is very chaotic right now. I know that many of you are desperate and exhausted and praying for answers, which is why I think you're here. It's not by chance or luck that you found the Learn to Speak Kid podcast.
True, because the system, by definition, is designed for you to have dependent kids versus independent kids. And when you can just take a moment, take a deep breath in and go, could that really explain everything? Like 17 meds? Like just keep trying?
First of all, if we get into a car accident or something and we break our leg, we go to the doctor, we go to the ER. They know exactly what to do. They put you in an x-ray. They see the broken leg. They know how to put a cast on that and exactly what surgery you might need or whatever. When you take your 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old, 14-year-old to the doctor, they have no idea how to help you, and that's the truth. They are guessing. The entire parenting industry today is based on theory from a doctor back in 1946. They removed spanking, like, I don't think we should be beating kids anymore. Well, what should we do, Dr. Spock? Well, I think we should instead take things away that are important to them. They do something negative. We must do something negative to teach them a lesson. And today, in 2026, we're parenting with 20th century ideas, 20th century theories, the exact century that gave birth to all of these horrific and disruptive child behavior disorders that didn't even enter the textbooks till 1968. And we have something called PDA today, which is pathological demand avoidance. It's not even in the textbooks, but it's out there on social media. Again, I want to throw out the word propaganda. I learned about propaganda in grade 8. Hitler used it to kill 5 million Jews back in the Holocaust.
You know, what comes to mind here is something pretty simple we can all relate. When you take your car to a mechanic, they can diagnose what was wrong and fix it. I've never had a mechanic go, I'm not really quite sure why your car didn't start, but we got this new tow you anywhere around the town program.
Oh my gosh.
And let me tell you how it works. You see, you just make a phone call and we'll show up and hook up your car and drag you around wherever you want with no clear vision of when that's going to stop.
Right.
Now, I don't know anybody that would sign up for that. But if you've got do nothing or go on this medication trail, I can see how we have 2 of the 3 ingredients. And it's tough to make a fire with only 2 when you need 3. And if I can plant a seed with your permission that the I don't know, that's got to go. But to do something negative with something negative, it's a short-term win, long-term loss. But what if it could be something as simple as, I'm missing the life skill to do it all by myself, so I don't need you anymore, Mom. That's our principle number 1.
Yeah.
Knowing the role.
Let's stop there because this is only going to be a 15-minute episode. We can't teach all of creating champions for life in 15 minutes. I really wish we could. I wish we could teach it to you in an hour because it's such a simple concept. Kids need life skills, okay, but they won't actually learn the life skills. What are they having access to for free right now that they should be earning? And I want to say this, God did not create the universe and say, I'm going to make these people, I'm going to come down from heaven and I'm going to feed them 3 meals a day and dress them in all sorts of nice clothes and give them 2 computers and 2 cars in the driveway with a white picket fence. And then when these human beings do something I don't like, I'm going to come down from heaven and take it all away. That's not how the world works. So where we came up with this idea that we could control our children, buy them things, talk them through, negotiate, lecture, beg them to do things is beyond my wildest imaginations. And all you have to do, moms and dads, is just take a minute. Set the clock for 1 minute, the alarm, and think. Why do we take our kids to doctors for behavior in the first place? Whatever made us believe that they knew how to raise champion kids? And speaking of the word champion, I gotta say, champions aren't born, they are created. You think of the greatest athletes in the world. Well, they were practicing at the age of 5 with their parents or somebody, right? They had a coach.
And the law to learn anything is repetition, repetition, repetition.
And right now, the giving everything for free and coming in and subtracting from our kids is the cause of the breakdown of child mental health. So if champions aren't born that way, they are created, then oppositional defiant disorder kids weren't born that way, they were created. You can't have one without the other.
Correct. There's always a cause to the effect. In this case, a lot of the doctors are looking at the effect, which is like the fruit, and have no clue about the root, which is causing it.
Correct.
And I would really love if they did make medication, the so-called help. I would like to see them come out with something like, let's call it a red pill with a big letter H on it. Oh, what's that? Oh, well, if child's having troubles with homework, they could pop that sucker and
or C, chores.
Has an H on it, and they could pop that. And then all of a sudden, 48 hours, they could go right into Einstein mode and they could do homework like crazy and then it'd wear off and have another one. Mm-hmm. But see, I don't see the medication helping. It's just postponing the inevitable. Mm-hmm. So their outbursts aren't as big because the root of all roots is that the child learned the missing life skill that their behavior is asking for in a way that we're not hearing, yet. We are here, we are here, we are here, see me. And when we can open up our eyes to go, which life skill is missing? And we focus on that, everything heals, unites, and goes back in an empowerment mode, which prepares to launch out of the nest versus postponing the inevitable. So we always have to keep the eye on the big prize, the big picture.
Yeah, the end result. We're not blessed with these little beings who owe us their love and time and attention and respect. In fact, they didn't even ask to be here. So we need to, parents, we need to rise up. we need to become leaders and stop buying into the idea that managing child behavior is ever going to give you the results that you want. You can't hog tie your kids and tie them in their bedroom till they're 18 and then kick them out of the house happy and whole. Like, that's just not even realistic. You know, the first thing that I learned from you, Tom, is when I thought I was the greatest mom in the world, dictational, briber, overcompensator, was that my kids were actually capable and that I had never taken the time to show them some things. And for example, one of the very first windows after a very successful bedtime, which we'll talk about on another episode, but one of the very first windows where I realized I was off the mark as a mother was when Zachary was 6. He had been diagnosed with ADHD in the most severe case of oppositional defiant disorder that the school psychologist had ever seen. And he was all like, "Mom, I'm thirsty." And me, having a stranger in my house, showing off my mom skills, I jumped to the pump for my little guy, my little Prince of Bel-Air, and I was going to go and get him some juice. And Tom goes, "Hey, can you go get my briefcase? It's over there in the office." And he sent me on this wild goose chase so I would leave for a minute or two. And when I came back, my 6-year-old son was standing in the kitchen with this hugest smile on his face I'd ever seen him have, an authentic, happy smile. And Tom goes, "Guess who made the juice?"
All by himself.
Yeah, and I could tell. I knew right away. I'm like, Zach made his own juice. Zach made his own juice. Like, oh, I never even thought to teach him how to make juice. Now, let's talk about, just for a minute, Tom, this whole idea that you can talk things through or you can talk your kids into becoming a certain human being. Because I couldn't have talked him through how to make that juice.
Well, after working with thousands of kids and having lots of references of how this works and why it works and all the things of all these kids that so-called have these disorders or defiance, it works with all of them like gravity. And so if we can go back to just keeping it fun and simple of the 1, 2, 3s, instead of dictating, we actually ask questions. And so this is part of the monkey see, monkey do approach, right? And so when it came to the juice, I would ask questions like, I don't know anything in this kitchen here, but I know there's got to be a container somewhere. It's kind of like about yay big, and it's usually glass or see-through or something. And Zach goes, "I know where that is." And he went right to it, opened up the thing, took it out, and put it on the counter. Wow, okay. Well, then there's got to be some orange juice. I'm thinking somewhere cold. And he went right to the freezer part and opened it up because he watched you do it.
Right.
And the razor's edge difference is I'm doing it for you. Look at me. That's vanity.
Yeah.
And I mean that with love, moms.
Yeah.
However, when the child's looking at you going, okay, monkey see, monkey do, but I don't get no do.
Right.
Now they can see all the steps. He knew all the steps, and we'll fast forward so I won't go through all of them with you. But then there was a part called follow the leader. This is the second sacred game. So if I started to stir, I'm like, do you know how to do this stirring thing? Yeah. Or would you like to give it a go? Boy, would I. Like, he's going, yay, I get a turn. Because if we could all close our eyes and go back when we were young and we're sitting on the side and we didn't really know, but we're infatuated with the Willy Wonka thing going on. And pick me, pick me, pick me. And they do. Oh, that's the love right there. So monkey see, monkey do. You tie it in with some follow the leader. I do, you do. A little bit of leadership. He's leading, I'm leading. Yeah. And when you get enough reps, let's just say 5, 10, 20 times, there's a magical moment where you're like, I now know Kung Fu.
Look what I can do.
All right? And then all of a sudden, mom's like, okay, as the leader of the group, I'm going to delegate. Why? Because I got little champions ready to prepare to leave the nest. I know today we must have some juice made and the vacuum's got to go. And Zach can go, who's going to do that? I could do the juice, Mom.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's a recipe. which means Zach could now play Simon Says on what the recipe says. Ingredients and sequence.
Yeah, that was a lot, Tom. You just spoke. Okay, if you're listening to this, that was a lot. I would listen to this maybe 2 or 3 times because Tom just did a lot there on that little exercise. What I saw in that 2-minute moment was you believed in him.
True.
You guided him with questions.
True.
Every step he took, you validated as a look how smart you are kind of vibration versus you didn't do this, I'm taking it away.
True.
So he had like 2 to 4 minute window of 100% proactive and what we call positive attention. The whole idea or concept of dragging your kid to a timeout as they're kicking and screaming and you're feeling like shit, there's nothing positive about that. That's the truth. There's nothing positive about it, but we call it positive discipline because we're not beating the kids anymore. But when you can guide a kid like you did with Zach and he made his own juice and he's at the end of the day, he's so happy and so proud of himself, that's positive. That's a positive seed. That's going to produce positive outcomes every time. And so not through lectures. Your kids will not understand, well, honey, I'm taking your phone away because you went on a website that mommy doesn't like. They're never going to go, oh, thanks, Mom. You're protecting me. No, they want to and they need to be prepared for the world. So what I saw with all 4 of my kids, age 6 to 12, over a 6-month period after I learned this to be proactive versus reactive, to role play and show them what to do versus lecture them, my whole house transformed. I had an 11-year-old daughter who, she tells me today, we didn't like you. So that's heartbreaking because I just loved my kids so much and they didn't even like me. But here she is with her 11-year-old friend cleaning the kitchen, making me breakfast in bed, bringing it up to me while I was in bed so that they could earn a sleepover. And I'm talking happy, excited, a zest for life. Like it was insane. My 13-year-old son, I caught him one day cleaning out the fridge. Did you hear me? I came down the stairs. The kid had everything pulled out of the fridge. And I'm like, what are you doing, Jacob? He's like, oh, something got spilled back there and it needed to be done. Like taking initiative. They started getting along. My house became more order. My kids and I were working together as a team. In fact, I took all 4 with a friend and a toddler camping by myself and had the most amazing weekend because the kids had responsibilities. They felt included. So that's really powerful stuff. I mean, I feel like I could talk all day, but we should wrap up today.
Right. So if we could just take a moment to look back and think, if something doesn't feel or think right, like it's negative, and we just pause, and if we could go back and just look at them through a new lens, not a behavior lens, but an educational lens, and think, what life skill is missing that I could model so they could see with monkey see, monkey do, and one day be able to do it all by themselves.
Yep.
And when we can approach it that way, then all these, I don't know, and I'm afraid of this, that's no way to live. That's not something that we signed up for when we chose to raise children.
No.
So heaven and hell can be right here on earth.
They are.
And it's all about which one we have free will to choose. And whichever one you pick shows up every single time.
Yeah, right. So parents, here's the truth. When you lead with authoritative parenting, you're going to trigger power struggles. But when you lead with demonstration and inclusion, you're going to trigger that little champion that lives inside your child that right now is dormant because your child's being run by their victim character. The champion is inside. All you need is the right tools to bring it to life. So here's your challenge this week, parents, is the next time you want to come in and get your defiant child to comply, think about showing them through your actions exactly what you want them to be, how you want them to behave, what you want them to say, what respect looks like, how to properly put a dish in the dishwasher, anything that you are dealing with. Think, role play, showing my little genius offsprings who weren't born with spiderweb 101 making abilities. They have no idea how the world works. They want to please you, and here's your chance. So until we meet again,
here's to our parenting success. Cheers, everyone.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.